Husson and the Bangor Region YMCA teamed up for an adventure camp day for kids. Part of checking out the Eagles campus brought students to the eSports Club. The gameplay outlet also connects them with other educational benefits around the school.
Esports offers a lot of opportunities outside of just gaming. We have our streaming room, which allows, people to learn the side of production and broadcasting that we have with a connection to our NESCOM program, as well as, the opportunity just to work with the fellow students or fellow kids that they have in their camps to, play games together, work on teamwork and bonding and just having a fun summer.
Cool enjoyed YMCA camps of lots of sports growing up. He said it was also nice to play video games when he needed the air conditioning after those long summer days outside. Husson ESports social media accounts provide more information on the club.